Alongside Clement Townsend, my name is Nick Pierce. We're coming to you from Charlotte, North Carolina here. It's Big South Basketball Media Day, and it's a day to mingle with a lot of the coaches and some of the players from around the league and kind of get an idea of where everyone is. And Clement, that said, I think there's a lot of unknowns here around Liberty's team. Liberty picked to finish 9th this year, coming off a 11-21 season last year, but a lot of new faces on this team.
Absolutely. Peter Muller, one of the new faces that Coach Dale Lair expecting a lot from. Two of the guys that we do know a lot about, though, Tomas Giello, he says he brings so much to the team in terms of intangibles. People feel like Giello is just a scorer, but he does so much more. And also guard Joe Reddick. This is a guy who he said has matured quite a bit, and he's expecting big things from Reddick at the point guard position.
Yeah, we saw Reddick move into the starting role at the end of last season. Giello, the top returning scorer this year, and had a chance to catch up with Coach Lair, and he said that there's another level that Giello can take his game to this year.
He's consistently improved. He's a guy that impacts our team in every which way. I think most people just look at points per game because that's what jumps out at you. But he changes our team in many, many ways, and his length defensively, he's a better rebounder than he's ever been. He's a team guy. He scores in multiple ways.
Yeah, you look up and down the league, a lot of parity, the potential for parity this year. A lot of great players coming back in the conference this year. Coastal Carolina picked to win it this season, I think just more so based on the fact that they have a lot of returning experience on the floor, and they did well in the NCAA tournament last year.
Absolutely. Warren Gillis was the Big South Tournament MVP last year. They also have Elijah Wilson. As a matter of fact, the Chanticleers have 4 starters returning. Coach Cliff Ellis says this year they'll be the hunted. That's a different position for them, but you'll have to see how they react to that.
Yeah, Warren Gillis made a ton of big shots for them last year. Certainly this year, though, I think the biggest question mark for Coastal Carolina is going to be the lack of presence inside. Coach Ellis expanded on that.
You know, we lost a guy that's very tough, very good rebounder, defensive player. Didn't score a lot of points, didn't have to, but we've got guys that played behind him, Uros Neskovic, Tristan Curtis, Kyle Buffkin, and we brought in a junior college player, and Marcus Freeman. So those are guys we're looking at to replace.
You know, Coastal might be the favorite, Clement, but you look at a team like a High Point. They've won their division the last couple of seasons, and they're trying to take the next step now. They
are, and when you talk about High Point, you have to talk about John Brown, preseason player of the year. I mean, this guy is quite an athlete, just an athletic player, makes so many highlight plays, average more than 20 points per game in conference. You know they're going to be a team to be reckoned with in the Big South as long as they have Brown.
And a guy that has only been playing organized basketball really since he was a sophomore in high school. And High Point stuck with him in the recruiting process, and they've reaped the benefits of that so far. But talking to Coach Cherry today, he says that he believes his team is ready to take that next step.
We want to try to be consistent and be at the top of the league in the preseason every year and at the end of the year. Maybe not going to win it every year, but be at the top and be in contention and have our name mentioned as far as one of the top teams in the league.
Well, Clement, there's just many others that we could go on and on talking about. You look at even a UNC Asheville that has a lot of youth on their team, but a guy in Rousey coming back that can just shoot the lights out in the gym. Radford, a team picked 3rd in the league this year, I believe. They've got a good nucleus coming back. What are you most excited about, I guess, with this conference this year?
I mean, I am excited to see Rousey. This is a guy who is from Virginia. You mentioned how he can shoot the ball. He also averaged more than 20 points per game in conference. When Liberty plays him, that's a guy that you have to find. You can't let that guy get open jumpers. And also Radford, their coach Mike Jones talked about how talented they are on offense, but he wants to see them lock down on D and also be more assertive on the boards.
Coach Dale Lair, we had a chance to ask him his thoughts on the rest of the league this year, and he kind of echoed what everyone else has said. It's going to be a lot of parity and a lot of different teams that can make a run.
It's an interesting time of the year. No one really knows who they are, what they've got, how a team will respond to the adversity that's coming. But I think as a whole, our league is arguably the best it's ever been top to bottom.
Well, I think we're going to learn a whole lot about the Flames early on here. The schedule is one where you got a couple of home games up front, so the fans will get to see them here early on with Randolph and Delaware. Then you go to Cancun. You've got a couple of tough teams down there. You're going to see Virginia Tech early on. How much are we going to find out about this team in November and December?
I think it will be a telling month, that first month of the season, and I think that Cancun trip will give the Flames a chance to bond, a chance to get away, and like you mentioned, Virginia Tech, Miami of Ohio, I think those 4 games that they play in the Cancun Challenge will really give us a good indication of the direction that the Flames will head in this season.
Yeah, the Flames have struggled to get off to a good start here over the last couple of years. Hopefully they can kind of get a little bit of momentum going heading into the conference portion of the schedule.
Absolutely should be an exciting conference season.
All right. For Clement Townsend, my name is Nick Pierce from Big South Media Day here in Charlotte and the Liberty Flames Sports Network.